Hey, I'm Ralph, and this is howtotintwindows.com. This is where it all comes together. I'm going to tint it's called a Suzuki Forenza, and I'm not sure if I've ever tinted one or not, but this is a four-door car, and I'm going to take all these techniques and skills that you've been seeing in our videos, and we're going to put them in real life. This is real life. There is a person in the waiting room. I've already tinted 6 cars today. It's Saturday, and I think we've got 2 more cars to do, Charles. I want to try to make this real time. I mean, we're going to get everything that I do. I want you to get in my mind. I want you to see how I think and how I go about tackling this car, because there's an art to it. There's a science to it. It's just not about techniques. All this is going to come together, and you're going to see how we can make all this work. And now it's on our clock right now. It's 7:40, and we think that it's going to take about an hour to an hour and a half. If there's a mistake made, you're going to see it. This is reality tint. This is no fancy shop. I've got trash on the floor. I just swept up from the previous tint jobs. This is the way it is. This is the real world. This is what you're going to go through when you put all these tint techniques together to do this. Now, here we are. I've already taken a few minutes to fill my spray bottle. I've got some cleaners. I've already got my chamois cloths. I'm kind of got my shop in a wreck, but I should have everything I need to tint. This car is just rolled in. It's in the month of April. It's starting to get dark outside. It's got pollen on it. I mean, people aren't going to clean their cars for you and make everything, cotton candy. It's going to be anything goes here. First thing I want to do, I'm looking at the car. I'm seeing that it's a 4-door car. I'm already, there's 4 windows here that roll up and down, and there's 3 windows on this car that are fixed glass. And I'm gonna, in my brain, I'm gonna divide this car up into 2 parts: fixed glass and moving glass. And right now, I'm taking a chamois. This is an absorber, and I'm just kind of cleaning the outside of the glass. I want all this pollen off. It's my work area. I'll lean up against the car right here. I might even just kind of hit it on the sides, hit it on the other side. I'm going to just go ahead and wipe all the glass off. I'm not worried about cleaning the car. I'm not in the detail business. I just want to get their glass so I can kind of get it where I can see it. I want to prevent any pollen from getting in the tint. Now, if you've noticed, I've gone into work mode. I'm working fast. I'm not overdoing it. I'm taking my time, but I'm not wasting any. Because this is going to take this car is going to take a second here to dry on this exterior prep. So I'm going to go ahead and do it first, because I can go to work on something else while this is in dry mode. I am prepping the glass for heat molding, so our film won't stick to it, so we can heat mold more evenly. But again, I'm trying to get this done, trying to use my time efficiently.
Can you explain to us, Ralph, what you're using?
This right here is Irish Spring. I like the smell of it. That's why we buy any soap will work. We just like to we just tend to buy soap that we like the smell of, I guess. But all that is just hand soap. I've got a sink here in my shop. It's very convenient. I can wash my hands off, kind of get the soap off so things don't slide around. Got a trash can over there. Now I'm going to, let's see. I know this car gets 15%. I have my tint over here hanging up on the wall. Right now I've got a key here. I'm gonna work on these 4 windows. I like to start on the driver window. I don't know why. That's just something I do. I measure it from left to right. This window is not 30 inches long. It's really 33 inches long, because I have to be mindful of the top corner. So I want to be generous. I don't want to waste tint, but I don't want to have it too short. I hate having it too short. I want to come over here to our 15%. I just happen to know this is my 15%. That's where I hung it. So here I go. What I'm going to do is I'm going to start focusing on cutting out patterns. You can follow me, Charles. I'm going to be going back and forth a lot. Now let's see what I'm doing now. Determining which side the release liner on. It's this side. I want the release liner facing the glass here. You're gonna notice how I'm gonna be really repetitive when I do things. I'm gonna come back over to the glass again. I don't know why. I could measure the tint. I'm measuring to get on the car. I could have memorized it's 33 inches. Pulling it down, making my cuts. You know, I keep tools in my bag, the most basic of basic tools that I need. Here to Charles's left and my right, I've got a toolbox. It doesn't take many tools, but I've got just about everything I could possibly want. If I need to do anything special, which in this car I'll probably go into that box. Here I'm worried about getting these patterns cut out. I'm taking these natural straight edges and I'm trying to line them up. I've got the release liner now facing me on this outside layer. On the bottom layer, the release liner is facing the board, and the top layer is facing me. I'm sandwiching these two pieces of film together so that I can make up some time. I don't want to have to cut it twice. I might actually look at I like a Blue Max. I actually want to squeegee this a little bit better because with these other squeegees, they don't. Your tint will move around. See, look, Charles, there you go. There's an example right there. My tint's trying to move on me, and I don't want it to move. I want it to be perfect. There's a reason for this, and I'll show you in a minute. You probably already know it. You've seen my previous videos. But this is the way to keep this film from moving on you, is to really hit it harder with the Blue Max or any harder squeegee. I know I'm spending some more time on this, but it actually pays off for me. I'm gonna set it here on the desk. Now I've got two pieces of tint. I'm gonna come over here. Now I've only been into this probably less than 5 minutes, and I'm about to have two patterns cut. I'm gonna repeat it again on the next one. Let's see what I'm doing now. In my mind, I'm trying to get this straight edge that I've got perfect along this bottom. I want to make sure my film I have enough on each side. Okay, I want to tack it down. I'm using a triangular hard card. I've cut it into a triangle. That's one of my favorite tools, as you'll notice. I don't use many tools. I've got a bunch of them, but I don't use them much. Let's stick with some basic ones. We will show the tools here in a minute. This is a Sharpie. I'm using a Sharpie to mark these edges. Notice I'm doing it now while the window's still rolled up. Some windows tend to move. I want to see if this one shifts. See, now I'll know if it shifts because now I've got a black line to tell me what's going on. Okay, now I want to roll it down. So now it's time to get the key in the ignition. I don't want this key to be in this ignition forever because it'll run the battery down. I want to cut the radio and the air off, which I've done. I want to come over here and I want to roll the window down about 1 inch or so. That's perfect. I want to okay, see, there's a mistake. I didn't notice this. I got the tint too close to the edge. See, it's moving on me. So now, no problem. You look for things like this. I'll roll it back up. Now, I know I've already put my marks on it and stuff. That's okay. I'll go ahead and wet it again because I want to shift it. Just want to shift it. Now, these marks are only on the release liner of this film, which we will discard. So I'm not going to be too worried about them. Okay, I've definitely moved the tint over enough. I want to make sure I hadn't created the same problem on the other side, and I hadn't. See, I just prevented a costly mistake there. This is real world stuff. I'm gonna do a new line. I'm gonna draw an arrow to it so I'll know which one is the new real line and not cut on the bad line. Easy fix. Okay, now we're gonna start back where we left off. That only took me, what, an extra minute or less? And now we're back on track again. Okay, now I'm gonna try to cut me a straight edge. Try to hold the blade at the same angle. Same angle. I'm gonna tear away. And guess what? I've got a piece of tint now already sandwiched together. I don't have to go back and do it again. for the two little pieces of glass. You know what I'm going to do, just because I'm a kind of a hyper tinter, I'm going to go over here while I'm thinking about it, and I'm just going to cut this out. Just cut this out, be done with it. Because I can get it real quick. I've already got the tint. It's already on my mind. Let's just get it out of the way. Okay, now I'm going to try to open the door here so I can. A little hard to see through here. Yeah, I'm gonna need a light. Let's see, I keep a light. This is my light. Didn't take much. Can you see that, Charles? I'm gonna go ahead and just cut it out. Quit talking about it and do it. My blade seems like it's a little dull. I should have probably broke my blade away so I'd had a fresh blade. That's okay. We make mistakes work for us. I'm gonna come over here to my glass. I can already see where my cuts are, and I did have a dull blade. It didn't really penetrate the tint. That's okay. We can get a second chance at this. I'm going to go ahead and cut it around one more time, just to see how that's doing. Kind of weeding all this out here. Okay, now I don't know why, I'm gonna take this tint and I'm gonna just stick it to the side. And the reason I'm gonna do that is because if I make some quirky mistake on this little window, I've got enough tint over here to give me a second chance before I just throw it in the floor. I'm gonna go ahead and separate the film. I know that this was for the window on the driver's side. I'm gonna put it up here. This is for the passenger side. Now I always flip over my second piece of tint because I know that they're mirrored each other, and the release liner I like to face towards me. All right, let's go do it again. No, let's don't do it again. Let's finish what we started. Now, so I'm gonna come over here, and I'm actually done over here. I've cut everything I intended to cut, except I want to finish up the corner here. I'm probably going to have to really make all this pretty on the glass, but at least I can get the direction I'm going, how far it needs to be. Okay. Now, I'm going to take it over to the glass.